All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's video, we have a follow-up on a story that I did last year about a company called Avalanche Studios. Now, Avalanche Studios is a studio that has worked with SBI in the past, even though they have tried their best to try to hide it from the public. We have screenshots that we're going to go over in today's video, showcasing that they have in fact worked with Avalanche Studios and SBI in the past. And now it looks like the initial layoffs that happened last year, which was about 10% of their workforce. Unfortunately, it seems like, as predicted in that video, that it's not enough, right? This was never going to be enough. They are still reeling from their failures, and they are most likely going to be closing down their doors permanently, right? So it says from PC Gamer, 2 months after halting work on its latest project, Just Cause developer Avalanche is closing its Liverpool studio and laying off employees in Malmo and Stockholm. Avalanche, which halted work on Contraband following Microsoft's massive layoffs in July, says the closure and cuts are necessary in light of current challenges to our business and the industry as a whole. Now, I've personally played pretty much every Just Cause game. They're literally stupid fun, right? They're just meant to, like, you log into the game and you just blow shit up, and it's literally like stupid fun, and that's it. It's not really a game that's meant to be taken super seriously. But unfortunately, they just flew too close to the SBI sun at this point. Not quite 2 months after Avalanche halted work on its 1970s smuggling sim Contraband, seemingly fallout from the massive wave of layoffs and cancellations imposed by Microsoft earlier in the year, Avalanche has announced the upcoming closure of its studio in Liverpool and layoffs at its remaining operations. This is their statement. In light of current challenges to our business and the industry, we have thoroughly reviewed how to best ensure Avalanche Studio Group's long-term success, the company wrote. Now, again, I want to be very clear. If they try to lie to you and tell you they never worked with SBI, this is a screenshot and a recap of what SBI's website used to showcase before they hid everything, because SBI tries to hide everything now. They don't want people to know who they work with, especially when it comes to like a AA, AAA studio. They don't want people to know. So this screenshot proves that Avalanche Studios Group was in fact being utilized by SBI on top of Square Enix too, by the way. Ubisoft, all these major studios were, which is why we continue to call it up. But in any case, they were here. And it's funny, man. I made a video. This is my video. When was this? This was June 5th, 2024, about a 10% firing of their staff. And I remember saying in this video that they were going to get felted. It was only a matter of time. They were going to close down. And here we are 1 year later, and that's exactly what's happening. This review has led us to the difficult conclusion that we must make changes to our staffing and locations. As a result, we are proposing to close our Liverpool studio and to initiate a collective consultation process as required by UK law. This will impact all Avalanche employees in Liverpool. The changes will also impact our other studio locations in Malmo and Stockholm, where we will reduce our workforce and restructure the teams to address our game's needs. This will be Avalanche's third studio closure in just over a year. In June of 2024, Avalanche closed its offices in Montreal and New York, which, again, if you have a company, a gaming studio that has a studio in Montreal or New York, chances are they're probably woke as hell. Let's be real. They're not exactly, lacking in terms of ideology. Them working with SBI makes a hell of a lot more sense, especially since if they were in Montreal, they're right next to SBI. That's their neighbor. Of course, they're going to work with them, right? It's pretty much a given at this point. But that put roughly about 50 people out of work at the time. A studio representative declined to say how many people are being let go as a result of this particular latest round of layoffs. Now, what I will say is that if 50 people were let go at about 10% of their workforce in 2024, I would guarantee that this new firing is in the triple digits. If they're closing down Liverpool completely, and if they're firing people in their other two locations, this is going to be a massacre. This is a bloodbath. There's no doubt about it. And it's guaranteed to be in the hundreds. Avalanche has a number of well-known games to its name, including the Just Cause series, Mad Max, and Rage 2. By the way, I feel like Rage was such a missed opportunity. I played both of them. Okay, I didn't play the second one very much because it was garbage, but I played the first one pretty extensively. The game was okay. Like, it was just okay, but it was always feeling like it was lacking. And then the second one was so bad, I could not even bother playing through it. But I wouldn't really call it like a well-known series, but again, it's up to interpretation. But its only in development project, according to the studio's website, is or possibly was Contraband. Announced in 2021 with a brief, vibes-heavy cinematic, Contraband promised a co-op smuggler's paradise set in the fictional world of 1970s buy-in. Now, what I will say is that Contraband was a game that was on SBI's website as well before they took all of it down. They had all these games listed as games that they worked on, and they took it down. The only screenshot I have is showcasing them working with the studio. But I'm telling you right now, I would 100% remember Contraband being on their website, and they took it off because they just want to hide everything. I mean, look what's happening with Winterboro right now. Winterboro is banning everybody right now because they don't want anybody to talk about SBI. It's fucking insane. And then after that tease, though, the whole thing completely fell off the radar until August, when Avalanche announced that active development has stopped completely while they evaluate the project's future. No mention of Microsoft was made, but multiple reports said that the call was made by Microsoft as part of its sweeping cuts in July, which saw roughly 9,000 people put out of work, multiple project cancellations, and the closure of Perfect Dark Developer, the initiative. The indirect impact of those cuts have been felt elsewhere, including at Romero Games, which was forced to lay off employees after it lost funding for its new shooter project, and Crystal Dynamics, the co-developer of the canceled Perfect Dark reboot, and now apparently at Avalanche as well. So, again, guys, at this point, I find it a little bit ironic and also a little bit hilarious that all of these studios are closing down. A lot of these studios that are closing down have some ties to SBI, whether they actively work with them or they worked with them in the past. And yet the one company that remains alive and active with no problems whatsoever other than backlash is SBI, right? Isn't that kind of, I feel like that's so ironic and funny that this company that everybody knows is pretty much a death note for almost every studio that works with them. They're perfectly alive and well right now. Now, granted, they get felted every time they come out in public, but still, at this point, I just find it ironic that they're alive and everybody else is dying. So again, guys, they can blame the conditions. They can blame the market all they want, but we all know that's not what it's about. We know that Avalanche has made some bad decisions, just like most of these studios have made some bad decisions that have resulted in just way too much money being spent. And because we live in a world where Donald Trump is president and US aid has become basically non-existent at this point, that money that these studios were relying on to subsidize their failures is no longer there, right? And in Canada, they still have subsidization. In Canada, a lot of these studios and a lot of these diversity consultancy groups, they're still getting government money. So that is allowing them to continue to do what they do every day and get subsidized for it. That's not happening here anymore in the U.S. With the U.S. aid money going away, it's pretty obvious what's going down. The moment U.S. aid shut down or the moment that money went away, all of a sudden, these studios that were clearly not making money for years, that were clearly hemorrhaging money and having way too many developers, all of a sudden, they all start closing down. They never mention why they're closing down. All they do is blame market conditions. But we all know why they're closing down, because they were getting subsidized every fucking day that they were alive. So I find this to be very interesting. And like I said, I made a video about this a year ago, and I felt like it was proper to follow up on this and realize that, hey, this is exactly what we said was going to happen. The studio is closing down. The other two locations they have are basically damn near almost non-existent, and it's only a matter of time before they close down as well. So you guys let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this entire situation with Avalanche? Are you happy to see them go? Are you sad to see them go? Because again, I like Just Cause. I think Just Cause is really fun. It's stupid, but it's fun. So I would be sad that, that's never going to get another sequel. But hey, I mean, you get what you fucking deserve at this point. But in any case, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, consider hitting that likes and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next one.